Welcome back to the Leaders of Leaders podcast. Today I'm here with Matt Sevier. G'day, Matt. How you going?
Hey, I'm good, mate. How are you? Matt Sevier. So, but
Sevier.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, Matt, you're a business leader of a behaviour support service.
Yes.
What got you into leadership?
Oh, mate, it's been a bit of a journey. I studied leadership when I did my, first bachelor's degree in psychology. Outside of that, the when I started as a practitioner, I sort of developed professionally, the first provider I worked for. Um, yeah, so I became champion of VR therapy
Mhm.
from where I was before, and yeah, sort of developed my own little niche in tech. And yeah, from there, I just figured I wanted to see behavior support in a different light, So our thing is to be refreshing and sort of bring behavior support into 2026.
Yep.
So I guess started my registration journey back in May 2024. And yeah, we were operating in December after getting our registration in October. So from December, it's just been all hands on deck and yeah, just it's crazy how fast you develop as a leader when you're in these positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's why I'm here. I'd like to sort of tell your audience sort of um, my perspective as a not like a seasoned leader, but I'm pretty new to the game. But yeah, just for my position where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So then what are some of those things that you're seeing that are going, hang on, this is where we need to change. This is where I need to step up to be a better leader.
Yeah, it's not the thing for me is taking control of the helm. You're
Yep.
steering the ship essentially, and if your staff or even the people we support as well, if you don't have direction and you don't have clear policies, procedures, but even communication about what your procedures are, what your expectations are, like you're not gonna go anywhere. The ship's not gonna move essentially. So
Yeah.
the thing I realized, which was a big learning curve for me, was I was constantly trying to cater to all these things around me, and I was trying to do all things at the same time. But yeah, for me, it was like, hang on, I need to step back for a second, and I need to dictate, where this is going and where we want to go. We need to have our goals laid out because it's not enough to just write a business plan and be like, oh, this is what we're going to do in 12 months.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's good to have those goals, but then have a roadmap of how you're going to meet those goals.
yeah,
So that, when it becomes overwhelming, you can go back and go, hang on, let's revisit this roadmap and step it out of, okay, I've done these three things. This is where I need to go to next.
exactly. Yeah, that's bang on. And if you try to do everything in one hit, it's like you're not going to get anything done. So for me, it was like, okay, well, if this is our goal, what can I delegate?
Mm.
What's a priority? What's not so much of a priority? Who can I delegate to? So for us, we brought on a virtual administrator, and that's like changed the game for me. It's
Yeah.
you can find people, and there's a lot of really good people in our sector as well that are willing to help and have such a wealth of knowledge to bring. So it's just finding the right people to delegate to, isn't it? And utilizing third party services. Yeah, just and talking, to people like yourself, talking to, other people that are leaders, just learning as much as you can from other people has been the biggest change for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So then talking about delegation, what's been the hardest thing that you've had to delegate? You go, hang on, that's my baby. Like, what was the hardest thing there?
Um, the finance side of things,
Yeah.
I've been so concerned about, invoicing and doing things right and buy the book, and then having to hand that off, But to be fair, I was doing a rubbish job at the start. Like it was a big learning curve.
Yep.
I was on YouTube all night, like, finding out, oh, how does this work in Zero? And then I was like, oh wait, I can probably just give this to someone that is a seasoned professional that does this for a living.
Yeah. Might take them 5 minutes and take me an hour to do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right.
So
Yeah.
then how did you manage those emotions of then going, hang on, I need to delegate this to someone else? Because a lot of times I hear people say that they don't want to delegate because it's my baby and they can't do it as good as what I can.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, like, I was there's got to be risks. You got to sort of take the leap with these things. I have sometimes I get emotions of yeah, this is my baby, like, this is like I need to control where this is going and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, it feels like up until this point, I've just kind of taken huge leaps of faith,
Yeah.
and it's like if you don't try, you're not going to see it. You're not going to get anywhere. If you do try, you might not get anywhere, but you might get somewhere. So
Mm.
there's a few different roads, and I guess for me, it's just taking that leap of faith and being like, all right, I trust my instinct, and instinct comes in handy for me. I feel like when you sort of have a good feeling about someone, and you can trust them with these things, like the VA I mentioned. She's well, now I'm glad I've handed her a lot of these responsibilities, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And I guess too, a lot of those responsibilities have then freed up your mind and your mental space. So
Mm.
then you've got, more space to think about what you need to focus on as a business leader and, different ways to grow the business as well.
That's right, yeah. And in PBS, it's like a lot of providers do it differently for
Yeah.
PBS. So uh like figuring out what our process was and getting that locked in. And then, it is a bit confronting. You make a loom video, has the stops there, and then you just palm it off to someone else and you're like, hey, can we all please be doing this? And
Yeah.
but I guess now my time is just managing um the reviews and looking at things from behind the scenes to see that they're operating properly. Because before, I was doing more than a full-time caseload just by myself when it was
Yeah.
just me, and we weren't getting anywhere. We weren't scaling because my brain was full of
Yeah.
things, and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And too, you know, if your brain is full and you're at your capacity,
yeah,
you haven't got time to focus on growing the business either. So
no,
then, you think, okay, where can I step back from doing a bit of client work and a bit from doing the business work, offload those to someone else
yeah,
so that I can look after myself, but also grow the business.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like it really was when I started to protect my own free time,
Yeah.
especially my weekends, because, and you probably know this as well, like, if we wanted to, because we love these
What's a
things, and
weekend?
well, that's a weekend, right? Like, you and I could easily just like be like, oh, we'll do this, because it is fun.
Yeah.
We enjoy what we do. We enjoy running our own businesses. It's just
Yeah.
having that mental, like, oh yeah, it's 5 p.m. on a Friday. There is this one thing I need to get done. So at what time on, say, a Saturday or a Sunday can I get that done and then return back to my weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then how important is having that time off to you and in this early leadership process?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, it didn't, if you spoke to me maybe 3 months ago, I would have probably not put so much importance on it. But we like I've met a lot of people that have been in this industry for a long time, and they all like one thing I noticed in my meetings with them and stuff is like they always go back to their relationships, like their
Yeah.
personal life, and they're like, we obviously love what we do, but is it at the expense of, say, our marriage or anything like that? And
Yeah.
yeah, they always mention like if your personal life is good, if you're able to spend time with your kids. Not that I don't have kids, but um, yeah, if you're no good to anyone in your personal life, how are you going to be good to the people in your business?
Mm. And then
Yeah,
also be good in the business.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's not going to grow if you're somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So then where do you think that you've stepped up better as a leader? Like there's been lessons that you've learned over those last, 6, 12 months.
Yeah.
What are some of those lessons that have had the biggest impact on you?
Um, Well, I mean, burnout, like we were talking about, is probably the main thing.
Yeah.
Protect, like, just as soon as I got rid of the burnout, and structure my time a bit better, that was the key thing. Started sleeping again. Yeah, it's just, but also,
Yeah.
talking as well. I've slipped it in a few of them on this podcast already, but the word
Hmm.
just removing a few things from like how I speak. Um,
There we go again.
there's another one. Yeah. Well, I'm like I have to constantly remind myself. It's a very hard thing to get rid of, but talking and like having purpose with what you say is a big thing. I'm still learning, but
Yeah.
yeah. But
It's like, as a behavior support practitioner, we're trying to, you know, alter the behaviors of a participant.
mm,
And do you know Vin Zhang?
no.
Oh, you got to get onto his stuff.
Mm,
He teaches how to speak to business leaders. He's really great. And he
yeah.
talks about how if we pause instead of having those filler words, then it creates a better outcome.
Yeah.
Like because if you're talking and you're filling this conversation with filler words like yeah and then it's like there's no emphasis on that conversation. But
Exactly.
what we're doing is we just need to be conscious of what we're doing and change our own behaviors because communication is behavior.
Yeah.
So if we can
100%.
change our own behaviors and replace that with the pause,
Yeah.
then that conversation has a better outcome, more emotion, and hits better with the audience.
Exactly right. Yeah, and it's having passion in your words.
Yeah,
If you replace it all with and you dance around the subject, you you're not getting your passion across.
yeah,
And you need the thing I'm finding is the more I'm direct, the more I, speak to people with the things I want to say, it just creates a better dynamic and it flows better.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if anyone wants to listen to Vin, I'll put a link in the show notes for an episode he did with Stephen Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO. And Matt, I'll
Uh,
send you the link as well so you can watch it. It was a really great episode.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I'll write that down. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Vin Zhang. He's
Vin
from South
Jiang.
Australia.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
and sorry.
No, he goes around the world and teaches business leaders on how to have better communication, but also to presenters to have better communication while they're on stage so that we can have a better conversation.
Mm. Yeah, and like body language as
Yeah.
well. Opening up your shoulders, presenting yourself to people and being open, to receive communication as well. The funniest thing that happened to me, um, I consider it funny because, now I have such a good relationship with this one coordinator. And when we first sort of met in person, we were visiting a client's mum, and I was trying to explain, what we do, go through the intake checklist, orientation checklist. It's very robotic,
Yeah.
and and I think, be, even back in uni when I'd do a presentation, uh, I would shake my paper. I would be freaking out if I didn't know the content.
Yeah.
So for me, my first sort of visit with this person, like I needed to know my content so I didn't freak out. But I think I just overthought it, and I forgot that this industry is people.
Mm,
And bless her, because she sent me an email afterwards and she was like, "Hey, just some feedback. You know your content, you know your stuff, you've registered a provider. What are you doing? You need to just like get it out there.
yeah,
You're more confident than this." So and it was really great to just have that feedback, and feedback I think from people like trusted providers, other really great providers, is such a benefit.
yeah. And I think, we need to have that team around us as leaders, because
Mm,
often leadership is seen as this lonely thing of it's only me going through this. But it's when you jump on a call with another business leader or a group of leaders that are going through something similar, you're like, hang on, I'm not the only one going through this. I can share what I'm going through. They're going to have a different perspective of what I could do better. Chances are someone in this group's going to be going through the exact same thing now or has done in the last 6 months.
yeah,
So we need to build the team around us. And that team might be other business leaders. It might be that support coordinator or a friend who, you can have that conversation with, and they're going to go, no, I'm backing you on this. You know your stuff. Just do it.
yeah, exactly. And there are a lot of people that will, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
If you find the right ones, there's obviously you got to have your instincts, but
Yep.
there's a ton of people that are going to help. There's yeah, I'm going back into the ums, but now I'm thinking
That's all right.
about it too much.
That's all right.
Um,
It's a behavior.
but it is, and that's the one thing as well I want to get out of today is I am still growing,
Yeah.
and it's even if I was in, if I had this provider for maybe I was 10 years into it, I'd still be growing. And
Yeah.
that's the important thing. And these people that we surround ourselves with help us grow. So
Mm.
yeah, reach out on people to link on LinkedIn and just have a chat. Just ask people if you want to have a virtual coffee. Virtual coffee was a big thing. Michael, uh,
Yeah.
Michael Clark.
Yep.
I'll plug him in here. I listened to his podcast and he talked about the virtual coffee rather than
Yep.
saying, let's have a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, just changing that wording of what it is. It's a virtual coffee rather than a meeting.
Yeah.
It's like it's just in changing the name. It has that relaxing vibe to it. You're
Yeah.
not on edge. You're not trying to protect yourself. It's let's just have a chat.
Exactly. Exactly. And when you are meeting with someone, just having a real like so I met with this BD strategy guy from another provider here in Perth. We had a virtual coffee, and I've never met him before, but someone got me in contact with him. We had an awesome chat. Half the time we were just talking nonsense and just
Yeah.
having a laugh. But then, there was a point where I was just like, mate, so like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Like,
Yeah.
how can I support where you're at in your like development?
Yeah. And I think too that helping others, like you've got a BD from another company that they're not the competition. It's we're in this together. We're on the same team. We've got a different perspective, a different niche,
Yeah,
but we're all in this together. How can we help each other?
exactly. Exactly. And yeah, and you lose that competition mindset, and you can grow really well. I mean, imagine you create a free resource from someone and take a bit of time out of your day and
Yeah.
you're supporting this person. Like specifically with PBS, I've been working on this resource for them, and it's how to find a good practitioner, PBS
Yeah.
practitioner, how to know when you have found a good PBS, what do PBS do. Having that resource, it's free, it supports them, but in turn, one day they're going to support me, and
Mm.
just being altruistic in ourselves, and it's like you do things, you don't ask for things back, but at the end of the day, we're in this together. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So and also too, like you've got the expertise as the PBS, but
Yes.
then you could go to a support core and get their expertise on what they're looking for in a good PBS as well.
Yeah.
And then you go to another PBS and get their perspective of what a good one is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got 4 or 5 services that are working together on this free resource. Everyone puts their name, everyone puts their logo on it. You're all in this together, and it's like, hang on, we're doing this for the betterment of behavior support, for the betterment of our participants. That's
Mm,
what we're doing. We're not in competition with each other.
exactly. Yeah. And, I had a phone call with another PBS provider, like a big provider over here. And we were talking about, it was a employee I was looking at, but bit of history there. But the main thing I got out of this, because I called her as a referee, with her and I ended up just not even talking about employees. We just chatted for an hour, and she was just like, "Where are you at? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Are you going to the expo? Stuff like this." And I was like, "Oh, hang on, this is like great. I'm learning
yeah,
so much from this person." Like,
yeah.
yeah,
And that they've gone out of their way, that they've given you an hour of their time
yeah,
with the expectation of nothing.
yeah,
So that, like, you're supervising other practitioners, but then how can you do a similar thing for them? How can you provide better quality, supervision,
mm,
but then also too, what can they teach you? Because they've come from a different perspective. They've
yeah,
got their own life experiences. They have seen things that you may not have seen.
yeah,
Like, for example, you might have gone from year 12 to uni to a job
yeah,
where, this behavior support practitioner might have gone and done 2 years as a support worker.
yeah.
So they've seen it from that side of the things, and now their behavior support as well. It's all this collaboration. I think that's where we need to be going.
That's it. Exactly. And even I met you, what was it, a couple of weeks ago on
Yep.
an online event, and you were chatting about the health and safety side of things, and
Mm,
it really got me thinking. Because you don't see. I mean, this stuff isn't obvious to you until you meet people that are in these positions, like yourself.
yep.
And there's just avenues and all sorts of things. And even if I was talking to another PBS practitioner, it's just like there's always angles that and experiences that people have that you don't. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very valuable thing for sure.
Yeah. I guess it goes back to too, like you were saying before about leadership, is this ongoing learning as you're going. No,
Yeah,
it's the same thing as behavior support or with anything you want to learn. You might have some expertise in it, but someone else has a different perspective, a different idea, and then you
yeah,
build on top of that and you learn from it.
yeah. Even your own staff as well.
Yeah.
The staff I've got, it's just a little startup right now. We've got
Yep.
two contractors, one part-time employee, and we've got another part-time employee coming on. But just the amount I'm learning from them.
Mm.
Oh, hey, uh, have we got strategy for this or in terms of our systems? And then I was like, oh, we need a way to get our SOPs out, our standard operating procedures out a bit better. And then it's all kind of developed. And when you close yourself off to that, I feel like you're missing out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why I think feedback and it's good for compliance as well with feedback, but it's not just for compliance. It's for yourself really.
Yeah. But then
Mm,
also too, it's building the company culture. It's, them having influence on the way things are done. It's them having some ownership
yeah,
in a small part.
yeah,
It's them feeling comfortable that they can come to you and say, "Hey, this is an issue we've found."
yeah,
It's them going, "Hang on, you need to give them some feedback around something that they need to improve on." Because
mm,
you've built that relationship with them to start with,
yeah,
that conversation becomes easier.
exactly.
And it's that, the work of building the company culture from the start.
Yeah,
If you've got that in place, it's going to build as the business grows. It's not just a matter of top down, this is the culture. It's them influencing the culture as well.
yeah, that's 100% right. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. I completely agree. It's the way I see it is if this isn't working for me now, then how am I going to scale this to,
Yeah,
another 50 people?
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah.
yeah. Awesome.
Oh, pretty cool. What about yourself? Tell me, like, where are you at the moment? I'm interviewing you now.
I'm a bit all over the shop.
Yeah.
I've got uni starts tomorrow.
Oh, yep.
So I'm doing a graduate certificate in workplace wellbeing.
Amazing.
Um, so that starts tomorrow. 2 behavior support contracts.
Yeah.
Um, family.
Yeah. Great. Do
Yeah.
you get do you do your hot takes on this podcast?
No, but what I've
No,
got
no.
is I've got a question that's been left by the previous guest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm gonna
perfect.
I'm gonna need a question from you before tomorrow morning.
All right. Okay. Done. I'll
Um,
do my best.
yeah. So Matt, we've got a bit of a tradition on this podcast where the previous guests leave you a question, not knowing who it is. And the question that's been left for you is, what is a failure that has taught you your greatest lesson?
Failure that has taught me my greatest lesson. Wow, that's a really good question. I'd like to know who said that one. My greatest failure. My greatest failure was expanding to too many moving parts.
Yeah,
Um, at the start, I had this idea of, I want this, I want Monday.com, I want um, all the, files to be saved in Google Drive. We
yeah,
do everything in our CRM. We've got our telephones, like all this stuff, and just not monitoring the potential chaos
yeah,
that can create. So, chaos, it's not really a tangible thing sometimes. It can sneak up on you in the funniest of ways. For one, it was our invoicing.
yeah,
So, yeah, just from the start, if I could restart everything again, it would be sort of figuring out our systems. And I hate to always talk about systems when we're talking about things like NDIS, but realistically, better systems mean better support.
hmm
And if things are all over the place and no one really knows what's going on, it's like, how are we managing our tasks? How are we reviewing things? So yeah, I guess just expanding to too many different moving parts at the start. So have a clear goal of what you want, even draw it out on a piece of paper.
yeah,
There's things like integrations. Say, oh, which integrations do we need? What do we need this one to do? What do we need that one to do? How are we all going to communicate? Just those little things. I think if I could redo it, I'll do those again.
yeah,
And that kind of comes into, the onboarding side of things. Like,
yeah,
it's important in NDIS to meet with clients and have a real conversation, have a coffee. And that didn't really we didn't really have a clear process for that
hmm
at the start. It was just like me going out and having chats, and but if you get your processes right from the start, I think you're going to save yourself a lot of time, and time is a very valuable resource.
It's the one resource that we can never get back.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
if you put things in place from the start, you're saving yourself time in the short term, but also
Mm.
the long term.
Exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for your time today, Matt. And if anyone wants to get in contact with Matt, I'll put his contact details in the show notes, along with that link to the Vin Zhang episode on Diary of a CEO.
Yep.
Thanks again for your
Yep.
time today, Matt.
Thank you so much for having me on board. This has been great.
Awesome. Thank you. And
Great.
remember, look after yourself first so you can look after other people. See you next time.